Shattered trust. Sarah sat in front of her computer, staring blankly at the screen. Her mind was racing, trying to process the fragments of information that had shattered her world just moments ago. She had always trusted her husband, Mark, implicitly. But now, everything felt like a lie. It started innocently enough. Mark had mentioned his new colleague, Lisa, a few times in passing. Sarah thought nothing of it at first. After all, Mark often talked about his work. But then subtle changes began to creep into their relationship. Mark started staying later at the office, claiming he had urgent projects to finish. Sarah tried to brush off her growing suspicions, but deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. One evening, Sarah decided to surprise Mark at his office with dinner. As she made her way through the dimly lit corridors, she heard hushed voices coming from Mark's office. Curiosity getting the better of her, she quietly approached the door and peered inside. What she saw shattered her heart into a million pieces. Mark and Lisa were standing close together, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the computer screen. Sarah watched in disbelief as they laughed and joked, their body language betraying a closeness that should have been reserved for her and Mark alone. Unable to bear the sight any longer, Sarah turned and fled, tears streaming down her face. How could Mark betray her like this? They had built a life together, shared dreams and aspirations. And now, it all seemed like a cruel joke. For days, Sarah wrestled with her emotions, unsure of what to do next. Should she confront Mark and demand answers? Or should she simply walk away and try to rebuild her shattered life? In the end, Sarah decided to confront Mark. Sitting across from him at their kitchen table, she struggled to keep her voice steady as she recounted what she had seen at his office that fateful evening. Mark's face paled, his eyes filled with guilt as he tried to stutter out an explanation. But Sarah didn't want to hear his excuses. The trust that had once bound them together had been irreparably broken. With a heavy heart, she gathered her belongings and walked out the door, leaving behind the man she had once thought she knew. As Sarah drove away, tears streaming down her face, she knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult. But she also knew that she was strong enough to survive this betrayal. And one day, she would find the courage to open her heart to love again, trusting that this time, it would be built on a foundation of honesty and respect.